Hi people, Morino Ravenberg here again. I'm going to jump right in regarding the subject, and with this video there's also going to be a new playlist. I don't enjoy making videos like these because I tend to avoid negativity. The last thing I want to do is badmouth someone or anything like that. But I have to unfortunately say, and this is also going to be the general consensus of said playlist, the name of the playlist is Undesirables, and I simply discuss I give examples of undesirable elements within the occult world. You guys already know that I have a video called The Occult World in which I discuss that generally speaking, people that have an interest in the occult, people that are not occultists, as well as people that either practice occultism, whether it be on a superficial level or otherwise. Generally speaking, the majority of them are not desirable individuals, to say the least. Okay, they you can put them on equal footing with parasites, more or less. I'm not dissing anyone personally here, but yeah, if you want to see that video because you haven't seen it already, check out the link in the description below, or wait for this video to end and then you can click on the thumbnail of that video in the end screen that will be appearing half a minute approximately before this current video ends. As an occultist by trade, unfortunately, so by trade I obviously mean this is what I do for a living. Unfortunately, I also have to deal with negativities and whatnot. Individuals that really make you wonder, or really make you just say to yourself, "Wow, some people in the world out there do not deserve help." Okay, similar to a store that sells electronic goods will get customers, unfortunately, very rarely, and the same applies to my situation, or the same applies to my trade, but unfortunately, or at the very least to my personal life, similar to those stores, that electronic store, on rare occasion getting some cockamamie customer that wants to scam them or rip them off by wanting to return a brand new item for free, or either deliberately spilling fluids on it just so he or she can get a new laptop for free. You know those kinds of people, okay? They're like choosing beggars, if you will, or not so choosing beggars. But yeah, unfortunately, you'll have rotten apples or rotten eggs like that. And in the occult world, okay, you've got on these kinds of individuals. Thank goodness they're also rare, but you've also got ridiculous. The ones that are rotten are ridiculously rotten, and I unfortunately also have to deal with these individuals on rare occasion. Okay, albeit on rare occasions, but yeah, every now and then I also have to deal with them. And of course, I do not like divulging information like this. Like I said, I keep my customers. Discrepancy at maximum. So with me, I'm never, okay, as part of my honor code, I will never in general divulge personal information pertaining to customers. Okay, discretion is everything. I mean, I wouldn't like it when someone discuss my personal items, things that I bought and whatnot, especially of an occult nature to others. So yeah, it's like buying something at a sex shop or something similar, an erotic store, and then having that erotic store publish your name in a video of theirs or something. I wouldn't like it, not without my explicit permission, but even with my permission, even then I would rarely give my permission because it's not necessary. Okay, you don't want information that can taint your reputation or make people see you in a bad light. And the same thing applies to my customers. That's why I keep my customer their information and everything that I discuss with them in an absolute clandestine way. I keep everything hidden, and I do not discuss it with third parties, let alone publish it overall. Even if I have the customer's consent, even then I'll still be reluctant to do so. And yeah, unfortunately, like I said, the really bad eggs, okay, I've had one or two customers, a couple of them, that are so despicable that you can just say, or not even customers, but let's just say some were customers, others are wannabe customers. They want to be a customer, but the despicableness gets in the way. Please don't let this deter you in any way, shape, or form. I just feel the need to discuss this extensively in detail because it's gotten to a point where it's unavoidable. And for people that are wondering why I it might be an idiotic question, but still, I'm gonna answer it. For the one or two people maybe that might be wondering why I don't use my occult powers on these rotten eggs, the reason I don't do so is because energy is hard to come by, similar to money or anything that you hold in value, in high value. As a magician, I'm not going to fling out energy senselessly to every person that ticks me off. That's also not allowed karmically. Imagine going to a store and the cash register, the person behind the cash register is unfriendly towards you. By that dumbass logic, I can also just start cursing people left and right, and that's how you destroy yourself karmically, because you're flinging out energy and harming others when they don't deserve to be harmed, not the kind of harm that you put out on them. So yeah, in general, when I deal with customers, I just shut them down completely and I ghost them, I alienate them, I block them on all channels that I own, and you name it. And that's that. That's the end of that story. But I need to discuss a specific, unfortunately, that's the whole purpose of this list. It's gotten to a point where I need to expose some really rotten eggs. These were people that, what I'm going to discuss in this video in any case are people, what are supposed to be people, that wanted to become customers, but for the most basic of reasons, they either can't afford me in general or something else is wrong with them. And you know, this is business for me. It's like going to a store and you wanting to buy something, and are you seriously going to go up to the cash register and tell the person behind that register that, hey, you can't afford this bottle of juice, you'll pay for it tomorrow, or something like that? Yeah, in any business in the real world, they'll laugh your ass and throw your ass while laughing or call the cops on you. So the same thing applies for me. When it comes to business, I don't have time to dilly-dally. We either get to it or we don't. And I'm someone, I like to keep things short and straightforward. And yeah, you know, I'm dead serious I'm dead serious overall, let alone when it comes to business. So there's no issue. Like I said in the beginning, the majority of people that are serious occultists and people that are knowledgeable, at least on a basic level, know what kind of people occultists or what kind of miscreants, unfortunately, can attract the occult. Okay, or what kind of miscreants can be attracted to the occult. Okay, these are not, generally speaking, the most valuablest of people or the most respectablest of people. So yeah, keeping all of that in mind, and that being said, I'm simply going to share, I don't know if you want to call it horror stories. This reminds me of YouTube channels like Mr. Nightmare and whatnot. I'm sorry if the introduction seems a bit long, but I need to create a proper introduction for this playlist. Okay, that's why I still need to double check the name that I'm going to give the playlist in which I'll be depositing all of these videos. But I think I'm going to call it the Extra Rotten Eggs with the proper description. Okay, so yeah, in any case, I need to discuss, I'm going to discuss specific wannabe customers or customers that with whom things went awry through no fault of my own. But keep in mind that this is a rare occurrence. I've had stuff like this happen to me since the beginning of my career, but only now has it gotten to a point where I feel the need to expose these people, just to, metaphorically speaking, cover my own back, because people are prone to believing a bunch of nonsense, and I don't want people to see me in a bad light, or I don't want my good name slandered. So yeah. In any case, hold on. Let me just get right down to it. The first person I'm going to discuss is someone that emailed me. Someone that emailed me on May the 29th. Okay, I'm still going to be as discreet as possible. Okay, the person emailed me, and the person says basically, the person can't even spell my name correctly. The person spells my name Morino, Morinio. I didn't correct that person because at the time it felt like doing so would be drifting off topic, so I was like, okay, fine, never mind, because it's not the first time that someone has made that mistake. In any case, I'm going to read the email for you aloud. In this context, in this situation, I'm not going to be I'm not going to take the person's discretion into notice. The person doesn't deserve discretion after this. Okay, so this is a wannabe customer. Morino, oh yeah, and before I continue, I'm going to place a link to the entire email conversation so you can see it for yourself in the description below, as well as any other thing that might be relevant. I think, yeah, the person's contact information, as in email and name, etc. The person goes by the name Stephen H. STEPHENH, with the email address hentsp@yahoo.com, HENNTSP@yahoo.com. If you do a quick Google search on that email address, it leads to, I don't know if the person is using his or her his real name. It leads to some kind of snooker player, someone that plays billiards. Full name is Stephen Hendry. I don't know if it's the actual Stephen Hendry that you find when looking it up, or if it's someone that just uses his name as an idiom, so as a pseudonym, but we'll see. In any case, hi Morino, sending you greetings and hope you are well, as you call it, shitty Suriname. Anyway, sending you kind greetings. I write in regards to your 50% offer. If you don't mind, I'll get straight to what it is that I'm interested in. Would that be okay? Here goes. I'm interested to have my ex contact me, not to get back in the relationship with her, but just for her to contact me in a way that I know that it's definitely her. If you may be interested in this kind of work, how much would you charge for that service? In the name of honesty, I'll tell you I commissioned another occultist from BALG, Become a Living God, to do this 3 weeks ago. There are numerous things about how the dude from Become a Living God conducted himself that makes me think in essence I got scammed. So to reiterate, what I'm looking for is to have my ex contact me in a way that I know it's her. With best regards, Stephen. Okay, and I continue. Hi, I can help indeed. The price for this would be $600. Belial is offering and says he can get to it. Max, but he says he can get it done. The maximum waiting time in general is 1 month, he says, more or less, for results. It can be sooner, but the month is an extensive estimate. Regarding Become a Living God, I have a video and article on how to identify scammers. I'll send you the link in a minute. I send the guy the link, and I tell him, oh, and in case the full amount, the 600, is a bit too much to pay all at once, we can do 2 payments of 300, one up front and another one next month. And then he emails me back and he tells me, Morino. He misspells my name. Okay, bro, I will do it. Can you send your bank details and I'll transfer $600? I have to say, if you get her to contact me, I'll pay you an extra 300. But if you don't mind, I will need her to prove that it's actually her before I transfer the extra 300. If that's okay with you. In regards to your link, thanks for that. I appreciate that. The dude was interviewed on YouTube by a few different Become a Living God people. His story is inspiring and he contributed to one of their books. And on his Facebook page, he shows his home, etc. Maybe I'm being harsh on him and maybe I should be patient, but given his manner of communicating, or to be precise, his lack of communication and your half-price offer, I thought, what the hell, jump in. Obviously, it's a risk paying, but it's a risk paying you, but fuck it, life is about risk. Well, life is about risks, plural. Yeah, the guy continues and says, I have to say, if you get her to contact me, I'll pay you an extra 300. I'm sorry. I simply copy pasted it and then behind it I placed the answers in red. To his first question about the 300 extra, I said fine by me. To the second one, maybe I'm being harsh on him and I should be patient. And I told him, if you'd like, for an extra $100, I can tell you if he's real or fake and show you through a chart, as in an astrological chart. And for the rest, payment methods were discussed, as in what kind of payment method he prefers, etc., etc. I asked him, do you do PayPal? Nothing noteworthy, or mention worthy. And then I think I didn't hear anything back from him. I didn't hear anything back from him throughout the entire day. And in the evening, I emailed him again and I told him, didn't hear back from you, because, like I said, I like to get down to it. If it's one thing that's annoying, I understand that if you can't reply right away, I'm fine with that. But have you ever imagine what it's like if you converse with someone, whether it's online or in real life, and all of a sudden one party stops communicating, and then you're going to get back to me after a few days or something. It's annoying because in the heat of the moment, if we're going to get to it, then let's discuss it and then let's just get to it. But imagine talking to someone, blah 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 blah, and then all of a sudden the person doesn't reply while you're in the middle of the subject itself. This is something that I dislike, and that was the case with this individual, and that's what I said. That's why I said to myself, okay, you know what? I'm gonna email him back. Maybe I'm gonna email him back and just ask him, to see what's wrong. If there's an issue or something, I thought maybe there's an issue, and for a reason for why he's quiet, and let's see, the day afterwards, yeah, in the morning time, he emailed me again. He replies to the second email I sent that I didn't hear back from him, and he misspells my name throughout the entire email conversation. Hi Morino, I see that you're on ball in regards to communicating. Cool, that's nice and good. I like that. After the last guy who almost did not communicate at all, that's a good sign. Brother, can I ask you a few questions about the work? Yesterday, as I prepared to make the payment, I realized I have reservations about parting with such a lump of money, even if, as you suggested, it's in $200-300 deposits. I have some questions if you don't mind. Would that be okay if I ask them? I'll go ahead and spit them out. Here they are. I see you said in one video there were refund policy, so may I ask them, would that mean if my ex does not contact me within a month, etc., that you would refund me all the money? Second question, you said that for $100 you could do a chart on the other call due to see if he was a scammer or not. Without any of his birth details, how would you manage to do a chart? And the third one is to do a lost call to bring her and I together. What would be the price for that, and would you do a refund policy on that too? I am still interested in the work, but realize that as I am not rich, I have reservations about parting with the money. I'm aware I was enthusiastic and said, let's do this. Maybe I shouldn't have been that way, and without giving the matter enough thought. I'm sorry for being so enthusiastic and now asking these questions. And, I'm already starting to get slightly annoyed. I'm getting slightly annoyed because it's not my problem if you can afford me. You need to know beforehand, what your budget is before approaching me. This is the basic of trade and commerce. But yeah, let's just continue. I sent him the link to my e-store, the main page when you visit my website, my Magical Surfaces for Hire page that includes the refund policy. And I copy and paste the refund policy bit in red, and I explained to him what it means essentially. And that was the answer to the first question. The answer to the second question, where he said, why can you do that? How can you find out whether he's real or fake without any of his birth information? I tell him I can do an orrery chart, which does not require any information to see if he's legit in his workings for you or not. With an orrery astrological chart, you don't need any of that stuff. You don't need any of that stuff. You don't need someone's birth details. Birth details are necessary for a natal chart, not for an orrery chart. And last but not least, to his last statement about the whole money bit, I told him, as I stated, $600, that's the discount price. For the rest, I really have nothing else to say. I'm hands-on in the sense that we're either going to get to it or not. That's why I messaged you yesterday, because I thought that you maybe didn't notice my initial reply. Sometimes it happens. People don't keep track of the emails they get, especially conversations that they've already started. People that are used to starting up new conversations almost constantly. Quality costs money, period. You need to know what you want. Again, we either get to this or not. With all due respect, I don't like to waste my time. That last sentence was underlined. This is my reply. And then he starts a new conversation. This was today in the morning time. This time he spells my name correctly. Wow. Morino, you said all prices are half price, yet you try to charge me full price. You have astrology readings listed as $100, half of 100 is 50, and yet you ask me for 100. Your workings are 600 or 1200, you're trying to charge me 600 and not 300. You may say you're giving me the $1,200 surface for 600, that's half price. If this is your logic, don't you think you should have at least asked me what surface I wanted? Especially as I specifically contacted you due to your reduced rates offer. And then he says, the evidence is you are scamming me. And I reply, what the hell are you talking about? Read the article, read in capital letters and pay attention. And then I copy paste my entire article where I say 50% off everything. Okay? And I point everything out to him. And yeah, you can read the article for yourself with my discount deals and whatnot. And I'll also link that in the description below. And based on what he said, obviously I'm going to tell him a real order. Basic order is $1,200, but since I have half off of everything, then it's $600. What he's referring to is a one-time summoning. A one-time summoning, I already explained what a one-time summoning is with the link. Okay, that one is $600, so it would be $300 with a discount. But a one-time summoning for what he's asking, contacting his ex or making his ex contact him, making his ex contact him, that's a regular working. That's $600. That's with the discount. 300 is not going to cut it. It's a one-time summoning. The success ratio will be significantly lesser with if you were to do a one-time summoning. Honestly, it's been I think years that I've done a one-time summoning for anyone, let alone for myself. Because if you're going to do something, you're either all in or not. You want the maximum success rate. So yeah. And in relation to the $100 bit, I'll get to that in a second, okay? I clearly state a simple chart reading, which was $100 is $50. Information, which was $450, extensive divination, etc., is now $225. And I underline in the center at the bottom, I'm not going to talk a lot. If you think I'm scamming you, go to someone else. Go to someone else in capital letters. It's that simple. I don't have time for this bullshit. That's my reply. And then he sends me this. Read your message to me. You asked for $100 for an astrological reading to check out if the other occultist dude was a scammer. Remember? You asked me for 100. Read your messages to me. You'll see. And I reply with, that's correct. I did so because it needs to be done in detail, which costs more. $225 is the discount price. The general superficial one is $50. So that's why I asked him $100, but he's too dense, obviously, to understand that. I should have asked him $225, but what he was asking for is intermediary. If I do a superficial chart, it's something that I do in minutes, as in I just check it out, okay, done. You're getting your money's worth. But if you want me to check something out for you, as in I need to look in detail, in this context, whether the other person that you work with is a scammer or not, then it's going to be a price in between the $50 and the $225 one. So I thought a fair price to ask him was $100. That's why I said that was completely optional if he wants. Whereas if I really go all out in terms of information, it's going to cost $225. That's the discount price, because then I not only cast the chart, I also do a tarot card reading, and if need be, I ask a spirit to check out, to verify the information, or the other way around. You name it. Bottom line is I gather information from all available resources, and based on that, I present the information to that person after confirming it. But in this case, for him, I was simply going to do an orrery chart, but I was going to do a detailed one, not a superficial one. That's why it's not $50, it's $100. And I close off the email by saying, but never mind, I don't want you as a customer. Farewell. End of story. Because, yeah, I've also turned customers down since the beginning of my career. There are one or two customers that I've turned down. And for any sensible person that's neutral, that has a clear state of mind, you can see what the problem is or what the issue is. You see what I'm talking about. I mean, the guy isn't even a customer. This Stephen H isn't even a customer. And honestly, the guy's already starting to annoy me. I'm not gonna lie. Because he's behaving like a choosing beggar, literally. He hasn't even ordered anything yet, and yet, if you were a good customer, a repeat customer, then I don't mind accommodating you, okay? Okay, I can say to myself, listen, the guy's worth the trouble. Even if he asks way too many questions, I understand. He's worth the trouble. He's a good customer, can't complain. But he's not even a good... The guy hasn't even ordered anything yet, and he's asking me questions. He's not replying right away in the midst of a conversation. He keeps asking questions that make no sense. He tells me that he can't afford me or that he's not rich and blah, 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 blah. That's not my problem. If I go to a store, I'm not going to barter and trade with someone there. The price is fixed, either yes or no. I'm not saying that I am not willing to make an exception or to accommodate a customer if by any chance he's short on 100 or a couple of hundred. But that depends. It's an exceptional situation. It all depends on the situation and the individual, and it's of course ultimately my choice. But by default, my prices are fixed until I say otherwise, or unless I say otherwise. So you can imagine what this is like. I mean, clearly you can already see what I'm talking about when I say it's a rotten. This guy's a rotten egg. I mean, a really rotten egg. And last but not least, he starts again a new conversation, which I don't understand. Okay, and this was a half an hour ago. By the way, that's the ultimate. That's what basically got me to the point where I said I'm going to record a video on this. I may make a video documenting your scamming. I have the proof. Not sure yet what to do. So yeah, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. This is video. This is video number 1 on a rotten egg, a really rotten egg. So yeah, you can see for yourself. Make no mistake, if you behave like this, then you're not worth my time and my trouble. I'm going to reject you as a customer, even if you're not a customer yet. Bottom line is I don't want to help you, and I don't have time for this nonsense. And last but not least, before I close off this video, I also need to state that I also want to state that I don't care about, I don't feel threatened by this guy in any way, shape, or form, but I do not want people, if he actually follows through on his word, again, which I don't care about, but if he actually makes a video if he actually makes a video in which he makes me out to be a scammer, etc., I don't want people to come and ask me, hey, this guy, Steven something, he made a video about you in which he says that you're a fraud, you're a scammer, let alone people believing him. So, because that's only going to honestly get me more annoyed. So this video is simply a video in which I tell my side of the story and I beat him to the punch, if you will. Not even my side of the story, I just play things the way they are. Again, if you want to see the actual emails, you can check that out. You want to see screenshots of the emails, you can check it out, or I might do a PDF, we'll see, either PDF or an image file, a JPEG. You can read the entire email conversation based on date and everything in the description below, in a link in the description below. Or I might just have it as separate files and download it. I think it's going to be easier that way. So you guys can check it out for yourself. And in any case, that is all. So yeah, that's unfortunately the case. So yeah, I was honestly really hoping to not having to do this, but as you can tell, I'm not being forced to, but metaphorically speaking, it's obvious that this is my response to this quote-unquote individual. And yeah, I hope I don't really have to make any other videos like this, but we'll see. If it needs to be done, then it needs to be done after all. And that is all. I'll hear it if you guys have any other questions in the comment section, and I bid you a good day. See you guys later. Bye.